Pro, just because you want to go with Dignitas, so fair enough. But anyways, welcome back, guys. We're going to go live, and Dignitas, in fact, are sending all their players towards outside. Snacks gets one. And can't get a few more. He's going to fall back, and probably the right thing to do. But they are going to continue to try and make their way through main. And they're going to try and... They've gone all the way round towards CT spawn, and maybe they might try and drop down to the lower bomb site. Device is going to get the headshot and level things up at 4 versus 4. With a minute to go, Neo is lurking underneath Heaven, and he knows that Dupree and Zipnix are there. And Thorin, what do you think of this?
I mean, a very interesting tactic to actually push all the way out like that. The moment it's working, they've got total map control. They push Virtus.pro all the way off their positions. Right now, the only way Virtus.pro can even get map control back is just headshotting. They can't even check positions, because at the moment they're afraid that could be a guy behind them at the same time.
So anyways, Bayali is going to hide in hut. He spots Device outside, and we can confirm that the Danes have dropped down to this lower bomb site, and I do think the bomb's going to go down. Here we go. It's going to be Zipnix, the man to plant the bomb. But hello, look who it is. It's Neo who's come through vents. Neo gets one before getting nailed in the head by Zipnix's Glock. And now Taz, 1 versus 3. We've got Dupree on low HP, Device on low HP, and Zipnix on 86. So if he can maybe drop Zipnix, which he can, the clutch might be on the cards here. The bomb is ticking. Taz is going to push Dupree. Oh, just missed the shot. He will drop him, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to defuse the bomb.
Well, especially since the opponent doesn't have to peek him.
Yeah.
He can just waste as much time as he wants to. So this should be a 100% win, and he has to just go out. Because actually, believe it or not, he couldn't have defused there, so actually just to go for the kill was the right move. There's still more money.
Yeah.
As counterintuitive as that might seem to actually give up a pistol round defuse, you know. Actually, this is a key thing to watch when you watch this map. Since we haven't seen the Virtus.pro guys play much, what I want to see is if they understand the key dynamic if you're an aggressive team on this map, which is whenever you play on T side, what makes it so hard and why these amazing CT teams can win so many rounds is that in this version of the map compared to 1.6, you can run through the vents. You don't just have to go through the vents slowly. Yeah. So as a result, if you're a terrorist, you actually want to create tactics where you want them to run through the vent. You create fakes that force them into the other side. You don't just go down there and then it's a problem that they're there so fast. So keep your eye out for that from either Dignitas or Virtus.pro, because I think teams that do that are the ones that are the really good T-side teams.
Well, we saw Dignitas go outside last time round. They're trying it again. We've got Snacks who's gone for that strange scout buy. Dignitas all over outside. Snacks, he dealt damage onto AZ, but it's going to be Zipnix to get first blood onto Snacks, leaving it 4 versus 5. And no surprise when you consider that Virtus.pro lost a pistol round and find themselves on this eco. Now, Thorin, when teams are ecoing, put yourself in the shoes of Pasha or Taz or Bayali or Neo. What would you be wanting to do with the pistols out up against Galils and AKs?
What I always like to do is, first of all, with pistols, you must close the distance. So I always like to have my team either in a group of 3 and 2 or 4 and 1. And the idea is I'm using the one guy. So think of like hunting. You want to like smoke out where the others are, and then the others attack from the other side. So you want one guy running around to find out where the enemies are, and say he rushes in and they run away from him. That's where the other 4 are coming in the other side. Because with pistols, you can get the guns, but you have to be really close range. You can't play super long range like on the rafters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially with how overpowered the pistols are in CSGO. But here we go, 3 versus 1. Taz is at the back of this A bomb site. He's being pushed by Zipnix. Will drop him. That bomb is now down. And if Taz can just run away, which he won't be able to do, if he'd managed to actually get back through lobby, I don't think Dignitas will have been able to plant. And it may have ended up being 1-1, but it is 2-0.
That's also an example, though, of why you have to close the distance. Because look, it looked great, okay? The Virtus.pro guys got 3 guns. Yeah. Except that's the thing, they only took 3 guns away. They never picked up a gun, therefore they never had a chance to win the round. They were always pistols versus guns. And so in that scenario, you want your kills to convert into picking up the gun. Like, it's actually better to get 1 gun than to kill 3 and get nothing, because you're still with the pistols. Yeah. You're still at the gun disadvantage.
And it's also why it's rare to see it nowadays, but there are still teams reluctant to go for the early AK buy, because they know if they end up losing those AKs to the overpowered CZ75s, for example, they'll give the CTs an AK-47, which is, of course, a one-shot to the head, then dead weapon. But here we go. It's going to be Dignitas to make their way towards Nuke. It's going to be Dupree and Fetish to explode over ramp. And, well, Virtus.pro, they only had pistols, and it should really, in reality, be an easy plant for the Danes and an easy round as well.
Yeah, even though it looked very, very easy there, it wasn't necessarily the wrong play by Virtus. Like, okay, even though I said Oh, here we go. So see, he's got a gun as well, and the bomb's down. Okay, now it looks like it's going to be fairly standard. So what actually was good about what they did there was that usually you want to be aggressive and peek and get information, but they 100% didn't peek. So actually, if people had run by the box, they would have had a free shot at getting some kills and getting that gun instantly and picking it up. So even though the Alders got massacred in that ramp room, it looked like, oh, well, they did nothing. By not peeking, that's the key thing. Most pros would still be peeking the box, and then when they look around, you've got you trapped there. But actually, the guy at the box did not peek, and they tried to take angles, and obviously, you could have never known that he'd get that cheeky kill there where he'd actually kill the bomb planter.
Yeah. But Snacks has got another kill. He will get 2, and that's not too bad from Snacks, actually. Obviously, like you said earlier on, when you get those exit frags, it helps your economical situation. And now, round number 4, Virtus Pro are finally going to buy up.
Well, one of the things that makes this an interesting matchup against Virtus Pro as well, especially going on a map that in theory they're not strong on, is that they could have played Mirage or Inferno that both teams are really good on, and both teams love it, so it would have been a full-on clash of 2 powers. Well, when you get into this scenario, not only do the Dignitas have the map advantage, they're just better on this map, but actually Dignitas is one of the few teams in the world who I actually think can go man for man and actually outskill the Virtus Pro team. Usually Virtus Pro bully people around, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas I actually think if you go down the roster, everyone except for Fetish potentially matches up better than his corresponding player on Virtus Pro, I think.
There it is, here we go. Taz is going to be the CT with the M4 on top of this large array bomb site. Of course, both bomb sites are on top of each other, and I think that was Pasha who had a bit of damage dealt through that wall into heaven. Snacks is all eyes on outside, where he is going to have AZ, Zipnix, and Dupree coming towards him. And it should be an easy kill for Snacks. Yep, easy kill for a player of Snacks' caliber. But he is going to let AZ and Dupree, by the looks of things, no, he is going to shut Dupree down. AZ knows he's surrounded. Good shot from Snacks yet again. And, well, Dignitas finally starting to drop like flies. And unless Fetish can get the 5v1, which we have confirmation, he won't be able to get it. It was a good, solid round for Virtus Pro. They bought up the weapons, and they're finally starting to put their foot down on this game.
And one thing I want to watch here as well, like when Anders was saying about how Virtus Pro have to get this lockdown CT side, actually a weakness of the entire Dignitas team across all maps is they are amazing on CT halves. They get 12 rounds, 13 rounds constantly. Well, why aren't they winning tournaments? Actually, they tend to be a bit shaky on T sides, even on Nuke. So as a result, okay, they got the great start, but now we're into the gun rounds. Is it going to be streaky? Are they going to win 1 out of every 3 rounds and just eventually crawl over the line to 5 or 6 wins? Yeah. Or can they actually put a run together? At the moment, I don't know if they will, so we saw the first big round there.
So ideally, on the obviously less favoured T side here on Inferno, how many rounds do you think Dignitas will ideally be looking for?
Well, because of how good they are on CT half, if they can get to even 5 versus most teams, that's actually almost game 1. They're so standard at being able to get 10 more that that's the game 1. Now, it's not against this team because, like I say, they have a weird history of actually being incredible on T-sides.
Yeah.
So as a result, and actually they used to be a little bit weaker than the top teams on the CT side, so...
But despite that, by the looks of things, it does look like Team Dignitas are going to actually win this eco. It was far too easy. Virtus Pro gave him outside control. They went straight down Secret, straight towards his B. Bombsire, have they spoken too soon? It's Pasha, 1 versus 1. He starts defusing, but Zipnix is lurking. Zipnix drops him, and what an eco round from Dignitas. And Thorin, you said they needed 5. Well, they've got 4 already.
No, they're at the moment, it's going totally the right way. Their problem they have is they're not... as a team, what they struggle from is they're not very good at grinding. Like what we saw Titan do against Virtus Pro in the game before, where it was on Mirage, and they were down and they had to basically win like 4 out of the next 5 or something like that. That's actually where Dignitas isn't that good on the T side. Now at the moment, it's not a problem because Virtus Pro aren't able to put up anything on these gun rounds aside from that one time. At the moment, they're just getting run over, so we haven't really had to see any amazing tactical execution where you don't know what tactic you're going to do and that site's totally locked down, which is what Nuke's all about, actually, when you're trying to play T-side. That's what makes it so hard.
So here we go, Dignitas. We've seen them actually try and utilize outside quite a bit. And it's not rare to see teams try and play with an AWP outside, but in this case, Virtus Pro, they're sticking to that all-rifle setup, which we were actually talking about Titan being good at the all-rifle setup. So Virtus Pro taking a leaf out of Titan's book. Obviously not with Kenny now.
You'd think it'd be unnecessary, because actually if they get into a position with money, I would assume they'd potentially swap Pasha out into the garage. He can AWP. Actually, Pasha's a guy who has a history of AWPing. He's a good AWPer. He likes to take aggressive shots. So it's worth having that outside coverage usually.
But here we go. Team Dignitas are trying to shut Snacks down with that smoke. I think he spotted AZ, but he's not going to shoot. AZ is going to go around the back of him. He should get this kill if he peeks to his left. Snacks, I'm not sure if he knows that AZ's there. Zipnik's through the smoke. Brilliant shot. And Device should drop Pasha. Yes, he will. And Thorin, we were talking about how good Team Dignitas are on Nuke. And I believe it was a few weeks ago where they thrashed the old Fnatic lineup 16-1. And we're starting to really see the Danes put their foot down on this game. 4 versus 2. I can't see them dropping this one.
Well, I mean, we'll just check that. He's not going to be some crazy. Okay, there's an. The key thing about this half is that when you saw the players from the polls win that first gun round, I wanted to say, okay, do they have like an idea of how to play against the Dignitas guys? Well, the key thing is, on a map like this, if you go for an all-rifle setup, so you don't have that AWP coverage where you have an angle locked down that they can't move past outside, so you know it has to be inside, and you can play static. You can't play static with an all-rifle setup unless you're willing to commit to really fast rotations, because that's what you gain from having all rifles, is that you're really versatile, and everyone can enter a site immediately. So in that scenario, okay, Snacks was doing a good job trying to be sneaky there and get 2 or 3 kills free, essentially.
Yeah.
But actually, in that sort of a scenario, they have to collapse from one side to the other. So if there's no one outside, he has to go really quickly in or lower. And if they are outside like that, then they have to do something like push someone up the ramp room. You have to, if you don't have the AWP, you have to get map control in another way, like take away an area like that when you know that they're outside. Whereas they're playing totally static at the moment right now. They're just staying normal spots, they're just waiting, and as a result, the tactics from Dignitas are working.
There we go. We saw them actually hit ramp room the last time Virtus.pro were on an eco, and it looks like they're going to do it again. It worked last time round, and Dupree is going to get first blood onto Neo, and it looks like it just about might work again. You said we needed to see Dignitas start rotating a bit faster to this lower B bomb site, and by the looks of things, they've tried to, but with the amount of smokes on this lower bomb site, they know that their opponents have that long-range advantage with the AK-47s. It's working for them, but Taz will drop one with the P250. Device gets the return frag, and by the looks of things, Virtus.pro are just gonna wait outside the B bomb site and get as many exit frags as they can. And to be honest, I can't blame them.
No, in this particular situation with no gun, it's actually worth waiting for.
And they're still not gonna get any exit frags. 6-1, 6 rounds on the T side of Nuke.
No, I mean, you asked me before, like, how many rounds does Dignitas need? They already have enough T rounds.
Yeah.
From what we see, so unless Virtus.pro have some incredible stuff on Nuke T side, maybe they've been secretly practicing it. I actually wonder if the reason why they picked Nuke, aside from the historical context there, wasn't that they were just so tilted by losing the Mirage game. They were sure they should have won.
Yeah.
Their Inferno used to be so strong. We remember them smashing Nip on it, but actually they've lost to Nip the last few times on that in big games. So where do they go? You know, they don't want to play Mirage against another team that's strong on Mirage. So I think that's why they've gone with the wild card of Nuke. And at the moment, for a team like them that's so confidence-based, they're going to be in really dire straits right now.
And the thing is, it just looks like Team Dignitas are just pushing all 5 players towards one place. And they're just being given the key to the bomb site by the CTs. No one's really there trying to stop them. And again, we see the Danes slap bang on top of this lower B bomb site, getting easy frags when the CTs are trying to rotate. And dare I say it, Virtus.pro, they're not playing like the same Virtus.pro we're used to seeing them play. I mean, I think it was early on in the week where they were playing on Inferno versus Epsilon, and they got absolutely destroyed. And we're seeing the same thing again here on Nuke.
Well, the thing is, they're playing very hesitant, whereas when you think of them when they're at their strongest, they're really aggressive, actually. They force you to make decisions. You can't ever walk into a bomb site versus CT side if they're on Mirage or something, you know. They're going to peek out. They're going to try and take a battle. Whereas at the moment, we saw that. They had a full gun round, and yet the Dignitas guys only had to kill 1 player to get an easy plant lower. On a map like this, the reason why it's so hard on T-side is you're never supposed to be allowed to enter sites without killing or being killed.
Yeah.
You can't just walk into bomb sites on this one.
Bayali yet to get a kill, which is disappointing. Virtus.pro, 7 rounds in favor of Team Dignitas, guys. Dignitas, they're flying through this group at the moment, to be fully honest. Fair play to them. And Virtus.pro, they've gone for this interesting Swag 7 buy for Taz. It'd be interesting to see where he actually takes it. He is number 2, and he's on our screens at the moment. He's going to push straight into Hut, and maybe we might see the good old...
It's going to be too late, unfortunately. He's not going to be able to get through to do anything.
Virtus.pro dropping like flies outside, and why?
See, look at the situation. Pasha still doesn't realize they've all gone. Like, their coverage on outside, where we said they haven't gambled and gone for the AWP, has been really poor. Smokes have completely thrown them off. They don't know what to do there. They haven't known... They've never gotten to the bomb site lower before the terrorists have.
Yeah.
No one's ever rotated lower, despite the fact that if you play the upper floor, you literally can just run right down there, whereas they have to go all the way around a corridor and then get in through a door. So at the moment, that means no communication to not know that they're going to be lower, and then not rotating fast. Look, it's always walking for the Virtus Pro players.
I completely agree. And I think you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about, I think one of the reasons why Nuke is so CT-sided is the fact that the two bomb sites are slap bang on top of each other. It's like all you have to do is just drop yourself down the vents. And you were talking about how much easier and how much quicker you can get into the vents in CSGO compared to CS 1.6, for example, where you had to crouch. And somehow Virtus Pro are still falling. Pasha, however, has managed to get 2 exit frags. He's going to get chased down by Dupree. He's going to fall back, actually. And is Pasha going to die? He is. The bomb site beneath him blows up, and we're going to have 8-1 in favor of Team Dignitas. And they've guaranteed the win on this half.
Yeah, I mean, the gamble from Virtus Pro is completely not paid off at all. And also, it looks like they're not really even sure what to do on these CT halves. Because part of the reason why you usually don't rotate is that you're scared that like it's a fake, okay. They're going towards secret, but really they're just going to come right in the front door and I'm going to feel like an idiot because I ran down the vents.
Yeah.
That's never happened once. Every time Dignitas goes slow, then once they start rushing, they just go wherever they're headed. But actually, you see there's no adaptation. The Virtus Pro guys haven't read that still. But now we finally see they're going to actually have some sniper coverage outside. But the problem here is, again, think of all the gun rounds. You never saw aggressive play pushing up. This is the first time I can even think that anyone's gone on their side of the map.
Yeah, well, brilliant shot to open up the round from Pasha. Another great shot from Fetish. Down goes Neo, and it was an eco round from Virtus Pro, but Pasha is still lurking with that scout. Taz with the P250 is going to go down to Dupree. And again, a very similar situation to the last round where Pasha is all alone. And I think he'll be looking to save this scout.
The problem is it'd be very difficult to save, actually.
Well, he's going to get chased down by 4 angry terrorists with AK-47s, and you completely hit the nail on the head. And he's going to get chased down. He's dealt a lot of damage onto Device. Down goes Device. He might swap it out for an AK. Yes, he has. And I think he's just going to go. He's going to run away towards CT. No, he's going to go outside where he has a few more coming towards him. And is Pasha going to do some heroics in trying to save this AK-47? He might. He's got 4 kills already. He might make it 5. No, he's not. Zipnix gets the kill. But I think even if he'd managed to get the 5-man, I don't think he'd be able to drop down to that lower bomb site and defuse the bomb anyways, so...
What's bizarre about that is, Dignitas had that round completely locked up. They had like 4 guys alive or something while the bomb was never going to be defused.
Yeah.
But actually, that was the first round that Virtus Pro played well as CT. Regardless even of the one they won by just spraying everyone down, because what they did there is they were aggressive constantly in every position. They rushed down the vents, they actually pushed people up. Like when they were pushing up on the outside, they also then pushed someone up through the ramp room so they could potentially get behind. Now actually Dignitas had a standard setup, so it didn't work.
Here we go. Taz is going to be the man to try and stop Dignitas getting in on this upper A bomb site. Bayali drops 1. AZ nails Pasha in the head. Bayali gets the return frag, leaving it 2 versus 2. And maybe, just maybe, Virtus Pro in the polls are going to give us something to scream and shout about, and I hope they do, because at the moment, I hate to say it, but they haven't exactly had the best map of their lives, have they? It's 1 versus 1. AZ's going to pick up the bomb. I think he's going to use Toxic to plant down. Yes, he is. And Bayali, he has the HP advantage going into this. But AZ, he's going to go aggro. Spots Bayali, drops him. 10-1. And Virtus Pro. I mean, you wouldn't think this team won Katowice a few months ago. It's disappointing. I really am disappointed.
Well, crucially, when they won Katowice was when other teams didn't know what maps to take and what maps to play against them. Whereas this is, and so as a result, we've got weird scenarios where NiP actually had to play their best map, the Poles' best map, in the grand final. Whereas now we're seeing the script's been flipped. Now they're playing the best map, potentially, of Dignitas, and it's going terribly for them at the moment. Actually, in that scenario, they finally got into a good scenario. They got into a 1v1, bomb isn't planted, this is winnable. But then the one guy that they didn't want to be in that situation is the guy who's done nothing this game so far. And unfortunately, that's not when he's going to suddenly turn it on. But at least they're trying to put some sniper coverage down outside now. But you've seen, constantly, outside's been the weak spot. They've had no idea how to cover it. They haven't like done a really static defense where you just hold an angle and you either get the kill or die. They push in, they pull out. They don't really know what they're doing at this point.
So here we go, 5 versus 4. Let's see whether Virtus Pro can change their fortunes around a little bit. We've got Device, who is on yellow. AZ's been boosted up to this spot. Oh, hello! Snacks is going to get the kill. They know exactly where he is now, but Zipnix and Fetish are going to try and shut him down, or at least try and avoid him. 4 versus 4. Bayali is under heaven. Taz is going to be that CT who's going to hover around on the lower bomb site, and Fetish is only on 9 points of health. So this is doable for Virtus Pro.
No, it's very doable right now. The key thing is like control of the information of where the bomb is.
So Neo is going to get the double. Device and Dupree, last terrorist standing. And all the CTs technically have to do now is just stick 2 people on the upper bomb site, 2 people on the lower bomb site, and let the terrorists walk into you. But it's not going to be easy because Device is a good player. And small high five from Virtus Pro, but really, I think, I honestly think they need to download this demo after this game and have a long, hard look at themselves. Because, I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you said that Team Dignitas' best map is Nuke. And I've got no idea why Virtus Pro didn't veto it, to be fully honest. Because if they maybe had practiced it or had something to show us on it, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, their big problem is they're never going to get to show us it because they haven't got over the T-side, and by the time they get to the T-side, there's going to be barely any room to work with. So unless they win the pistol and everything goes flawlessly, like this is one of those games where even if you win the pistol, you lose that eco, and suddenly with the score, you've almost lost immediately, whereas you want to get like a body of work out on T-side, 7, 8 rounds to show us real gun rounds. That's where if they had practiced anything, they'd have it, you know.
Well, here we go. Team Dignitas rushed straight into this upper bomb site, and it was literally just far too easy for them to take full control of it. Pasha is going to be the man in heaven, but the thing is, the terrorists, they're just going to keep throwing nades up there, throwing flashes up there, or are they? Pasha, the man with the biceps, is going to lob that smoke down, maybe try and fake it out as a flash. Device and Fetish get 2 kills, and come on, Virtus Pro, wake up and smell the bacon. Get a few frags. You need more than 2 rounds, and Pasha is going to be the man to try and lead Virtus Pro to victory. And he's not going to be able to do it again. And I'm really just left here scratching my head. I really just don't.
The way they covered the upper site there was really disappointing if you were hoping this was going to get a turnaround and become a really competitive map. Because, again, they just laid out the red carpet.
Yeah.
And then they waited till they were there. They were like, oh, can I offer you a refreshment while you're in the upper bomb site? Oh, yeah, I won't shoot you or anything. Like, if you rush into the upper bomb site on Nuke as a terrorist, it's supposed to be really hard. The first guy has to hit that shot. The second guy has to throw that flash that goes around. The third guy has to be like pushing through the doors at the perfect time, or he gets killed and then they come behind and flank you. Yeah. There's never any risk of that when you're playing against Virtus Pro at the moment.
And the thing is, Virtus Pro, we're used to seeing them as one of those really aggressive teams who are straight up in your face. Like you said, they force you to play how they want you to play. And we really haven't seen Virtus Pro put their foot down on this game. And
I think that's a comfort zone thing, though. When they play Mirage, when they play Inferno, those guys, like Snacks can do those tricky things where he like does what the Russian CS they call poker, where you let the first guy go past, you wait for the second guy, you're gambling rather than the first kill, you're going to get 3, okay. He can do that because he's super comfortable in all those positions. Those are his favourite spots to play in the game. He's played those a million times, those scenarios. You can see on this map, they've constantly switched to whoever's playing outside. They don't know what they do there. Do you want to AWP? Do you want to rifle? Okay, now we rush now. When they started rushing was actually when Dignitas just played standard themselves and went everywhere, so that even rushing didn't get you any information. When Dignitas was going really slow but all to one spot, they weren't rotating fast enough. So actually, if Virtus Pro wanted to learn how to play Nuke CT side, just watch this game, Mac, and do the opposite on every round to what you did, and you'd have a perfect half.
Well, maybe we'll tell them that when they come out of their soundproof booths. But here we go, the bomb man's gone down on the lower bomb site. Pasha is 1 versus 4. Is he going to give us a clutch to smile about? He spots AZ, pulls the trigger, gets the kill, and I think he's just going to start defusing here and just see what happens. Out comes Device, out comes the P2000, and he can't get the kill. 12-2, 12-2. And if Team Dignitas make it 13-2 from this point on, then go on to win the pistol, that'll be it.
What's funny is the hype around Dignitas was almost anti-hype coming into this event. Everyone was saying, okay, yeah, you were really good a while ago. Yeah. We haven't seen you, so I assume you're going to be bad, and I assume you've had a holiday, and practice probably hasn't been that hardcore. But actually, from what we've seen so far, on day 1, I think they've been the strongest team in the whole tournament. Because even Fnatic, with their great form, they were having close games, they were narrowly winning over. Dignitas is blowing people away. Admittedly, if everyone gives them Nuke, when the other team isn't known for playing Nuke, then they're going to get even more wins like this. But even so, I think actually they've exceeded what I expected from them in the group stage.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me tomorrow if every team who ends up playing Team Dignitas in the quarters and semis and maybe even the grand final will just veto Nuke after this performance.
Except Titan and Nip.
Okay, fair enough.
Because that's the thing. Historically, they're the only 2 teams that Dignitas can't always beat, but that's because they're the 2 best teams ever on Nuke.
Yeah. Well, there we go. 1 minute to go, and Virtus Pro have exactly 1 minute, funnily enough, to try and rescue a 3rd round on this, what is meant to be a slightly more favoured CT side on Nuke, but
no. Bearing in mind, so many teams don't play Train now. This is basically the most dominant, biased map in the whole game. You're supposed to win minimum 10 rounds CT.
And they try to make changes to it, like by moving back steps to secret and stuff. And we are starting to see more T rounds, but 12 is just ridiculous. Anyways,
here we go. This is poker.
Poker, here we go. Poker. Snax gets 2, and maybe he will get 3. I think he might. Fetish is on very low HP. He's going to go towards him with his knife, and well, Fetish gets the jump in CZ kill. But it is still 3 versus 3. I take that back. It's 3 versus 2. Bayali picks up the M4, sprays and prays. Down goes Fetish. It's 2 versus 1.
The bomb is down, crucially.
The bomb is down, but Neo has a lot of HP, so I really fancy him for this one.
There's only 11 seconds left, so he can actually force them to plant if he wants. He knows that it's probably going to be upper. Now he knows he has to be planting here, so the second he hears it, he knows exactly where he can be. Has it left or right?
But they are both on low HP.
He guesses wrong, unfortunately.
There we go. And I think that situation and the final product of what happened to Neo pretty much sums up Virtus.pro's game so far.
Even when they got in position, then they did guess right and the timing was right.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate, and the other guy outplayed him just with skill, basically.
Well, smiles all around.
You'll never see versus a world-class thing. Like for me, in rankings, I would have still had Virtus.pro #2 in the world, just from overall rankings of the last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
You'll never see the second best team in the world get smashed like this on CT side of Nuke.
Yeah.
But that will just never happen.
But here we go. Like we said earlier on, Team Dignitas, they've made it 13. They win this pistol round. I really can't see this game ending differently to 16-12, I'm afraid. But here we go. We saw Team Dignitas take the pistol round when they were terrorists, so there's no reason why the Katowice champions can't do the same. Fetish spots 2 of the Poles outside. It's going to be Pasha who's going to slowly make his way towards Garage. Fetish spots him, fires for a little bit, but he is going to fall back, and probably the right decision. Device on top of the A-bomb site, and I think at this point they're just going to play it patient and just wait for Virtus.pro to come to them, basically.
Well, especially because they know there's no one outside based on their information control, so as a result, once he hears something coming towards the ramp, AZ goes straight down because it has to be ramp.
But here we go. They are going to go ramp like you just said. Thorin AZ gets 1, but Neo shuts him down. And Fetish and Zipnix need to drop down fast. And Dignitas need to push these terrorists together. Pasha is in vents. Who's going to get the better of who? Pasha goes down to Fetish's 5-7. Dupree with the CZ will nail Neo in the head. And it's just an easy sweep from the Danes, 13-2. And they made it look so easy trying to retake that bomb site, whilst Virtus.pro, in contrast, made it look so difficult.
Dignitas looked almost Nip-esque there, like the way, as one man was coming into one section, and he got the attention of someone, the other guy was coming in to kill him in the back, and then when another teammate turned to fight that guy, the third guy was coming in behind the back. That basically is just a mixture of rhythm, knowing when to rotate, but really good communication. That's the thing that Nordic teams have always been famous for. CT side communication. Like, it's not like they talk all the time, they talk just enough, and they give just the right information. Like, they give the key piece, like, oh, I'm going to come to the window now, so you know, like, oh, I know roughly based on my teammate the timing of when he'll be here, and that lets me execute what I want to do. This is basically do or die for Virtus.pro right now.
Here we go. Device has gone for the all-powerful P90. AZ, Fetish, and Zipnix with the FAMASs. Dupree with the M4. And Snax has force bought the AK-47. Good frags here. Neo gets the kill, but Device will answer back onto him with the P90. And the team with the smaller pistols in hand find themselves one man down. But hello, the Kalashnikov comes out from Snax. And are they going to try and go ramp room, or do you think they're going to just try and...
They're going to go upper.
Go upper,
It's going to be a wrap on upper.
Here we go. Let's see if Thorin's right. Snax with that AK-47. They definitely took the Danes by surprise by buying that AK-47. Zipnix is going to be playing on rafters, and AZ is going to be the man in ruins. And do you think in this 3 versus 2 situation, Dignitas should be looking to stick together? Do you think their current setup is the right one?
Their biggest problem, okay, that's going to help them right there immediately because it's now 2v2. Okay, 2v1. This is a chance here, especially since the other guy's lower.
So here we go. AZ can Virtus.pro salvage another 3rd round. They're going to come up vents. He's being spotted. It's not going to be easy, especially when Taz has the M4 and Snax has the AK.
That was very well played because the key thing they did there is they didn't split up. So that guy couldn't just peek up, take one guy's attention, go back down, or kill him. You can come up the vent, but you can't kill 2 people at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's actually that's actually the fundamental dynamic of how Counter-Strike's supposed to be played. You're supposed to win just by out-positioning, having 2 people shooting 1 man. Then skill doesn't matter, because one of them will get the kill, you know. Now, actually, in that particular round, Virtus.pro played it well, bearing in mind they started with only an AK. That's something they were actually very famous for. That's why they were a legendary T-side team, though. They would get 1 AK. They always put it on whoever was the man who they felt was the hottest at that moment.
Yeah.
And the key thing is you always keep a pistol man really close to his body, so if he dies, you instantly have another gun.
So,
But they have to win everything now, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Since we don't have overtime as well, remember.
Yeah, it is groups. But Fetish, somehow outside, manages to get a double with the CZ75. And again, we're starting to see why the Pistols are so overpowered in this game. And Dignitas really are one of those teams, as we've seen in the last few weeks, who really use the Pistols to their advantage. But oh no, Device has been spotted. He was in a brilliant position to do a poker, as you called it. But unfortunately, he is going to fall back. And I think Virtus Pro are going to try and take control of this upper bomb site. Snacks drops Dupree. And at 3 versus 2, make that 3 versus 1. I don't think I can see Virtus Pro giving this one away. And 14-4, hey, they're slowly starting to redeem themselves. But they've still got 10 more rounds to go to try and even it out at 14-14. It's not going to be easy at all.
No, but that's the thing. That's why I said the war's an outside chance, even though they don't play it. They could be good on T-side, because historically, of those factors. But secondly, they're a team who actually are one of the best in the world, historically and now, at using half-buys. Like getting something out of the half-buy. You very rarely see it from Nordic teams, actually. They only tend to do it in desperation times. Like, say you're down like 11-14. That's when you might do a half-buy. But most the Nordic teams stick with like the strict economic management, you know. Whereas, okay, the Poles, they're a little more fiscally irresponsible, you know.
And it's interesting when you discuss different Counter-Strike styles. I mean, in football, different countries employ different styles, and it's the exact same thing in Counter-Strike.
The key thing is, as well, there's no style that is right.
Yeah.
There's only the style that's right for you. And actually, in the case of some of these Eastern European teams, this style is better for them than if they played the Nordic style. If they played the Nordic style, all they would be is inferior versions of their Nordic teams.
So here we go, 4 versus 1, Device. Last man standing. Here he goes down, 14-5. And
crucially, they didn't lose many guns there, so they can keep it rolling still. I want to see what Snacks is going to do with this AWP, though. Like, if it just means they're going to wait for him to get a pick outside, if he's going to rush the ramp room and wait for someone to peek there.
Do you think the comeback might be on?
Obviously, it's looking very good so far, actually. When they're winning these rounds, they're bowling them over completely. Plus, actually, when you're Dignitas and you're on the CT side like this, you're thinking, well, any minute now, it's going to kick in and then we're going to win all the rounds. So actually, you're going to be lax for a while. You'll probably give up 3 or 4 rounds before you're really in trouble.
So here we go. Fetish with the big green gun in the AWP outside. Snacks with the big orange gun, apparently, in lobby, looking towards Squeaky Room. Unfortunately, if he were to fire, he wouldn't really see much. And the bomb has been dropped in T-spawn. So Virtus Pro, they don't want to push outside or push towards lobby or push towards ramp and end up losing the bomb, because that'll just be good night Vienna for them, I think, if they end up losing the bomb. But here we go. You said you wanted to see what Snacks could do with the AWP. We didn't see it, but he's managed to get the first blood kill, which leaves Team Dignitas on the slightly more favoured CT side. 1 man down. Zipnix and Dupree with unsilenced M4s. AZ with an M4 and Fetish with an AWP, yet to get a kill. So where are the Poles going to take their AK-47s? The nade's going to go towards outside. Oh, great kills from Pasha and Taz outside already. And Virtus Pro, as it looks at the moment, they're going to have 6.
And it looks like we spoke too soon, because, like I said, okay, the key thing is I thought they wouldn't get a chance to show us what they wanted to do on the T side here. But this is classic Golden 5 era terrace side play, where not only are you winning T rounds, which is astounding enough on a really CT dominant map like this, but when you do it in the classic style of like you overpower the team. They have their defenses set up, static defenses, where they're used to spraying someone down, getting 1 kill after another, using that communication. But communication doesn't matter if 5 guys run in and they all kill each of you at another time. There's no chance to outposition. That's why aggressive play will always have its place in the game, no matter how good the defensive teams get. Because aggressive play forces like extra decisions. You can't just stick like, oh, I already know what I'm going to do here. Suddenly you're forced into like different decisions that you don't normally make because people aren't that aggressive to you.
So here we go. We said that we like seeing aggressive Virtus Pro, and we're sort of seeing somewhat of an aggressive Team Dignitas on this eco, which goes back to what you were saying about when you're on those ecos, you want to try and get close as possible to the opposition to really try and use these pistols and use them for what they do best, close-range kills. But Neo, at the moment, has other ideas in mind. Bayali is going to smoke secret. He's going to throw that nade in there as well. He should deal. Oh, blows Zipnix to smithereens. And Virtus Pro are on course for round number 7.
I mean, the key thing to note here is, when I say aggressive, there's different styles of how that can be used, okay? Aggressive people will think means pushing all the time, never letting up going. But actually, they've played very controlled. But once they decide the bomb site they go into, that's where they're aggressive. if 3 guys rush into upper, they don't walk into upper. They just all rush in at the same time, and they're all going for an entry frag.
Yeah.
So as a result, that's what overwhelms you. It's not like a controlled style of attacking. It's controlled up to the point that they decide, and they go all in on wherever they're going. There's no fakes here.
So here we go. Device is going to pick up that AK-47. Knows that Taz is close by. Taz shuts Device down, leaving AZ 1 versus 4 with only a StatTrack CZ75 twist in hand. And I think it's going to take a miracle for him to perhaps pull this one off. No, he's going to get 1 frag. Taz is coming for him. Taz dropped his teammate, and he's going to drop him as well. 14-7. And both these teams have somehow managed to turn Nuke into a T-sided map.
Yeah. I mean, the bigger surprise was that Dignitas was so flawless on T-side. But then, as you saw, the reason why I focused a lot of the commentary on like weird decisions of what Virtus.pro were doing is that they weren't playing ideally. It's not like Dignitas brought out the most godlike strats that we've never seen, there was no answer for.
Yeah.
Virtus.pro kind of opened the door for that. Whereas now, actually, Dignitas is playing perfectly fine static CS, and they're just getting bowled over. This is like the classic Polish power that I like to see on T-side. This is why I like to see really differing styles go head-to-head. Because the question isn't just who will win, it's like which philosophy works out in this particular situation.
So Fetish knows that there's a few terrorists outside. Dupree gets that first kill onto the head of Bayali. Fetish with the AWP. I think he'll spot someone on yellow, missed his shot, and now he's going to be forced to fall back because he knows that Bayali, or Snacks, sorry, will most likely be out there with the AWP, and he's going to try and track him down in return. So 4 versus 4, 3 AK-47s, and Snacks' AWP. And let's see, I'm really interested to see who the battle of the AWPers, but Device is going to get the kill. So Neo picks up the bomb, and
he's heading in there, so by the looks of it, they're just going to all go, I'd imagine, just walk upper.
So Zipnix is going to play Mustang. Device is playing Super Mario in the vents.
Okay, they're going to try a walking ramp.
And this is something we didn't really see from Virtus.pro. When they were playing on the CT side and they were trying to hold ramp, they were trying to take Team Dignitas on, whilst AZ is sort of doing the mature and intelligent thing and just falling back and waiting to regroup with his teammates.
The big problem here, actually, is the time that's going down on you. Like, if I was the Dignitas guys, once I saw the time there, I'd quickly rotate one guy and hide him in lower. Just because then if you kill the guy while he's planting and he doesn't get the bomb down, you've almost guaranteed the round win right there.
And it looks like AZ might do just that. Here's the bomb going down. Oh, no, he can't stop Neo. The bomb has been planted, and this has somewhat suddenly become slightly more difficult.
The bomb going down is the key aspect there. Oh, look at this. That's so cheeky.
For Virtus.pro.
But you might have heard that, though. No?
Nope.
Yeah, you did hear it.
Sees him in the end.
But Taz still has a little bit of time to work with. His problem is that he has to peek. So he was always going to get killed because they could both just wait to kill him there. No, the key thing that is that round would have been over immediately if he just killed him before the bomb went down.
Yeah.
Because then the
they
trap
would have had time to pick it back up and try and plant it down, yeah. So 14-7, we're 15-7, sorry, match point. And Virtus.pro, of course, because they won, I think it was 5 consecutive rounds, they've got loads and loads of money in the bank. But
if you look at the kills, okay, the key man that jumps off the board is Bayali. Only has 6 kills now. After all these rounds played, he still only has 6 kills. So I feel like you have seen, like I said, okay, Dignitas is one of the few teams I think actually man for man can outskill them. I think they have in this game, and I think one of the reasons why is Bayali really hasn't shown up in terms of kills. It's just been a 4v5 for a lot of the game.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's listening in. He shouldn't be able to hear anything through the soundproof booths, but it's going to be Neo to get the first frag onto Fetish outside. Dupree with a double. Snacks is going to try and hunt. I can't see who that is. It was actually Dupree. Neo gets his own double, gets revenge, and now Snacks, I think he might anticipate
if this guy peeks up.
Yep, and there we go.
That's an example of really good communication there. Because the reason that guy knew he had a free kill is because the other guy communicated the fact that that guy was down there. Whereas we never saw that from Virtus.pro before. They never had the actual comprehensive approach to CT. And it was always inevitable, unfortunately, when Dignitas were at 14 rounds. Okay, we're losing now. We're going to get 2 rounds on CT.